This is Diane Rowden, Hernando County Commissioner with awesome Hernando County. And I'm sitting out at our airport today in Hernando County, beautiful Hernando County, with our airport manager, Kevin Daugherty. And Kevin, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been here at the airport. And then, of course, something about our airport.
Thank you, Commissioner Rowden, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about one of my favorite things, which is the Brooksville Tampa Bay Regional Airport. Coming up on my third year here serving for Hernando County. I came from Frederick, Maryland, although I am a native Floridian, originally from Pompano Beach, and family is currently in Ocala. Of course, we live here in beautiful Hernando Oaks, which my wife and I love. I love this airport. The airport is 2,400 acres. We have over 120 businesses, over 2,000 employees work here at the airport. I come here every day excited about all the opportunities here, and blessed to have the board support and all the things that we have going on here.
Well, that's great, Kevin. And, you know, there's a lot of information out there about the airport that people don't know. And, you know, the history, I know that we go back to World War II with the airport, and I think it was a B-17
right.
headquarters here, and
Correct.
So there's a lot of history, and the size of the airport is incredible.
Right.
I think we're acreage-wise as far as the second largest in the state, or
it's definitely up there, but you are correct. You know, just like most airports within not only the state of Florida but the whole country, all started out as either World War I or World War II bases, and they eventually, once the war subsided, obviously got deeded back over to the local communities for air service and commercial development. So we were blessed to have that, and blessed to have the jewel that we have here today.
Well, that's great. And I think one thing that's really great about our airport is the length of our runway.
Correct.
And so maybe you can go into that a little more detail on the length, and also I think we're going to be expanding that.
Correct. We do have we have two runways. Our primary runway, which is our east to west runway, runway 927, is a little over 7,000 feet. And it is expandable to 8,000 feet. It is the original concrete from 1944. It has had some minor rehab to it, some spall and joint repair over the years, but it's still the original construction, so we're very proud of that. And the primary runway is actually the longest non-commercial runway in the region. So we're capable of taking on any size corporate jet. Also, we can take up to a Boeing 757.
That's pretty big.
Yes.
That's a nice size airplane. I
Right.
used to work on that, so not fix it, but I used
Right.
to service,
Right.
serve on it. So, you know, and that's what really makes Hernando County unique to some of these small regional airports.
Right.
And another thing that I'm very proud of is that we have a control tower, because I took flying lessons out here years and years ago. I actually soloed.
Mm-hmm.
I scared myself enough. I decided that I liked
That was
having I liked having a pilot.
Right.
So, but it was very interesting coming out here and taking flight lessons. But at that time, it was an uncontrolled airport,
Right.
so you had to rely on your fellow pilot who might be taking off around you, that you guys were in contact with the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but now we have the control tower, so maybe you would like to go in and explain the real importance of having that, and how it really brings us up into the 21st century with our airport.
It does, and we're part of the FAA's Contract Tower program, and this was a project, what I like to call PK, pre-Kevin. They really had the foresight to move forward with adding air traffic control tower here, and you know, it was a lot of money, and thank goodness we had the state to help the airports. I think it was probably about a $2 million project, but it's eyes in the sky. It gives another layer of safety to the airport, safety and security. Me personally, I mean, I'm a licensed commercial pilot, and I was never comfortable flying into airports that did not have air traffic control towers. And so to me, again, this is some real vision and foresight from the previous managers and previous executive leadership that made this happen. So.
And it is great to have. I just would like to remind our listeners that sitting here at our Brooksville Tampa, is it
Brooksville Tampa Bay Regional
Airport. Okay, good.
Right.
So, BKV.
BKV.
Right. And I'm sitting here with our airport manager, Kevin Daugherty, and we're talking about our awesome airport that we have. And we just were talking about how important it is with the control tower, and it's, you hear about unfortunate accidents out there, and I think that what having a control tower brings to Hernando County also is businesses that want to come here. Aren't there some
Absolutely.
that won't come to an airport unless they have a
Yeah,
tower like
there
that?
there are some corporations that just will not bring their corporate aircraft into a non-towered facility. Sometimes it's a personal decision, sometimes it's a insurance decision. So again, we have that added component there to help us. So it's very important.
And it is. So, and when we're talking about our businesses that are here, and you had touched on it a little bit, but how many tenants does our airport have?
We have over 120 businesses to operate here at the airport. Again, we have over 2,000, really 2,100 employees that operate here on the airport. Between aviation and non-aviation. The non-aviation actually makes up the bulk of our revenues here at the airport, and a lot of people realize that. So again, we're very fortunate that folks that were previous generations of the airport recognize that the airport would need to be self-sustaining, and they started the original industrial park, they started the corporate airport, they started airside development, and we are the benefactors of all that today.
And our airport has all the infrastructure in place, so if businesses want to come to Hernando County, it's not a matter of that you have to put in all the sewer and water
Right.
and roads. We have that in place for them.
Right, and if we don't, we take it to them. So.
And we have a lot of available property for people that want to be on the airport themselves.
We do. There's the airport's over 2,400 acres, and we have 1,000 acres to be developed still. So we have a long way to go. I come out here and I just look at the opportunities that are here, and not a lot of airports have what we have. My previous airport was around 600 acres, and it was totally landlocked by the community. So there was no hangar development that we could do. There was no non-aeronautical development that we could do. We were just landlocked. And here, the way that they've planned out the airport in the communities, they structured all that in. So we're again, it's a lot of vision went into this place, and we're the benefactors of it.
And that's great. And I think we have 2 air ambulance services right here at the airport. And
Correct.
they fly out of Hernando County. Of somebody, I think they go a lot maybe to the islands where people have been.
They go everywhere in the world. They follow the cruise ships. They go to China, Netherlands, Africa.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they really move, and they're based right here in Hernando County. So we're proud to have them.
And we're working on, and I'm hoping sometime soon, this is a long process, with customs, bringing customs
It
to
is. It is in the
Hernando
plan.
County.
Yep. We already have a funding request into the state. It's probably going to take us a couple years to manage that. Right now, what's going on with capital projects is we're really focusing on infrastructure. Again, I talked about the original runway and the original taxiway systems that were put in back in the 1940s. They need help, and so we're focusing on that. Right now, a lot of electrical projects are going on with the airfield lighting, and everything underneath the ground is being replaced for the lighting components. Once that's all done, we're going to work on our navigational aids, our instrument landing system. our approach lights, and this is all funded now, so we're doing this stuff now.
And we received a lot of grants on this.
We
correct?
have, yes. We've been very fortunate to have the support not only from the board, but FDOT District 7, also the FAA, and so they're very supportive of us, and very fortunate, very fortunate. So.
And that is, I mean, because if we had to try to fund all this ourselves, it would be virtually impossible.
It would be. It very much would be. And, that kind of brings to light something that maybe listeners don't know is we are an enterprise fund within the county. So we do not take general fund dollars. We are a very lean machine, as you know. All the businesses, all the property that we have here, we have 5 on staff. Plus, we work very close with the Office of Business Development. So no general fund dollars. Also, the grants that we get are not general fund grants from the federal government. They're not general fund grants from the state. They come from users of the aviation system. So every time one of our operators is out at, say another airport, in the country, and they're getting fuel, or they're paying for services, that gets put into the system. That's where our grants come from. So a lot of people just don't realize that, and I always like to remind our tenants also that every dollar that they spend at their airport stays at their airport.
Exactly.
So that's
exactly.
an important message I like to get out there.
And that is important. And when you talk about enterprise fund, people don't understand how that really works, and
right.
that's what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact is that it's a user-based fund.
Absolutely.
So if you don't use it, then you're not going to have
right.
to pay into it. So.
But if we had to fund all of our capital needs, our infrastructure needs, it would just there'd just be no way that we can do without the state and the federal support. So.
And that is great. And when you're talking about getting the grants from the federal government, I think there's a certain amount of matching that we have to do with the airport, right?
We do. Right. Most of our federal grants are at 90%, and then the state.
So they give us 90%.
They give us 90%, and then the state has to also match as well. So they usually match either 5% or 8%. And then our local match is either 5% or 2%, depending on the grant.
That's a great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity, but I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of people seeking grants. So
I was going to say it's very competitive.
It
right?
is very competitive. We're very fortunate to have Mr. Sossaman. That we're very aggressive under our capital program, and he's very resourceful and very helpful to us. So.
And that does. I mean, you've got to have the right leadership in
Absolutely.
place, or else you're going to be just like any other airport.
Left behind.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of people who ask us about the future of the airport, if there's any plans for having like a regional airport to have commercial flights in here. What's the picture on that one?
Honestly, we're just finalizing our master plan, and the master plan they really don't address commercial service because we're just so close to Tampa International Airport.
But so is St. Petersburg.
And St. Pete, right down the road. I think our role really in the region is of a reliever to those airports, because with all the commercial service going in there, Southwest Airlines, Allegiant Airlines, they really, the federal government and the states, they want to develop these outer airports so that they can, take some of these corporate jets and relieve some of the traffic.
There's a big business with corporate jets out there, and
absolutely.
And especially if you were to have like a Super Bowl or something going on, big conventions,
right.
And I think that our airport is just outside of Tampa enough
right.
that we can accommate them.
We're just 40 minutes, as we like to say, 40 minutes north, and two red lights and a freeway. That's it. But there are big opportunities coming up. We're already talking in the region about the college football game that's coming up next year. Could be some real opportunities for Hernando to get some of that overflow traffic. Hernando and Lakeland.
Because they can't, Tampa International is pretty big, and St. Petersburg too, but they can't accommodate all of these corporate jets coming in
Right.
there and landing and parking. And
Even some of the smaller traffic, some of the piston traffic that will fly into some of the bigger airports, while they would never turn anyone away, it's you just don't want to do it. You just want to go to the smaller airports.
well, and this is a lot
It's
better
uncongested.
for.
It's
I mean, the
so-
parking here is great,
Right.
and I mean parking for the airplanes and for cars.
And no landing fees, competitive fuel. What's not to love?
Wow, we don't have landing fees.
No landing fees. No.
Wow, that
Yeah.
should be. And how much is the landing fees in Tampa?
I don't know exactly what they are, but they're not cheap.
I can imagine.
But it's a completely different animal down there. So we really consider them partners. Tampa and Lakeland are really consistent. Consider them sister airports, and we always try to help each other no matter what, because at the end of the day, we all have to survive and thrive. So
Right.
no better than teamwork in the region.
Well, and we're only probably an hour and 45 minutes to Orlando.
Right,
So
right, exactly.
there's other opportunities, and you have where people need to get. I mean, we're talking about big businesses that might need to go north into Ocala or
Right,
some
exactly.
areas like that, and it's easier for them to fly into our airport than
Right.
it would be to Tampa. So.
Absolutely. Yep. Totally agree. But we have some fabulous projects coming up. Again, infrastructure. We talked about the airfield lighting. We also have a T-hangar construction project that's just gone vertical. That's a $2.5 million project
When you say vertical, what do you?
out of the ground.
Okay.
The pads are poured and they're stacking the iron now. So
And how many aircraft will that handle?
40.
40. So those are most. When you say the T hangars, those are for your smaller.
Well, they are traditionally the smaller ones, but we're actually building oversized T-hangars so that we can accommodate some hangar sharing with two smaller aircraft, so there's some economy to scale, because aviation's expensive, no doubt about it. We also built some bigger ones too that we can accommodate some of the King Airs and some of the larger turbine aircraft.
And we didn't have that before, that they were large enough to.
No, they were
accommodate that?
they were small.
Kind of like a garage. Some of them I
correct.
saw before, so
Right.
they were smaller.
We also have the new Sam Pearson Way realignment road project that's going to be going out to bid here shortly. It's really going to kind
What's
of
that going to be?
right out front here on Flight Path Drive, and it's going to clear up what I like to call the wackadoodle road alignment that's out front. Also is going to include our new monument sign out there, and really give us that kind of polished corporate image. And the way that road alignment's set up is just strange, and so we're going to be cleaning that up. We're also going to be doing airfield guidance signs out on the air side. That's going to be a federal project. I suspect we already have the state grant on that. I suspect we're going to be coming to the board for approval on that probably sometime this fall. And then airport security upgrade. So we have a lot of good
the airport
stuff.
security upgrade is going to be really great.
Yep,
'cause
it's going to
that's
put
been-
cameras everywhere. Also LED lighting, new access and control. This is a big place. Try to help secure it.
And again, when we're talking about these improvements, it's so important for us to stay up with these, because if we don't, then we're going to lose, because again, you've got big corporations out there that either want to move to an airport like this, or they want to fly in their airplanes and park it, drive to Tampa, do what they need to. But every time they come here,
Right.
they need to refuel.
They need to refuel, and it also serves another purpose too. It shows our current tenant base that the county isn't investing in their airport. So it shows them, hey, the county's investing in my airport. Hey, maybe we've been talking about an expansion. Maybe maybe we need to dust it off the shelf and look at that. So we have about $5 million in capital projects ongoing right now. We have a jewel here and a great future, so I'm just excited to be part of it.
I know people. I didn't know we had an airport here. It's because it's so kind of hidden right off of Spring Hill
Right.
Drive. But when you come back in here and you drive, and you're going, oh my gosh, this is really nice. So,
well, it's it's not top secret. If any of your listeners want to come out and take a look at the joint, we're happy to give them the nickel tour.
the joint. Funny. Yeah, and I tell you, one of the best adventures I've had out here is to go in that tower, because when you go up there and you're literally getting the bird's eye view of this airport and this part of the county, and you're looking out, it's just incredible.
Just see
the size, and so
just see opportunity.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So, Kevin, why don't you wrap this up and give us a final on how important this airport is and why people need to love awesome Hernando County and our airport. And again, I'm sitting here at the airport with Kevin Daugherty, and he is I probably pronounced it wrong again.
It's close enough.
Okay.
It's a fine Irish name.
And he's our airport manager, and we've got few more minutes that we can talk about our airport here, Kevin.
Well, again, we just talk about the jewel and everything that we have to offer here. Tenants or listeners may not realize that we have over 140 based aircraft here, and that is comprised of single engine, piston, jet, helicopters. We also have the Florida Army National Guard. Proud to have them here, based at our airport. Those fine men and women, they serve the country here in the state and abroad. They were in Kosovo last year serving. So
this is our guard unit here.
Correct. Yep. Aviation Facility Services number 2. So I'm proud to have them, and we have the Coast Guard, right? The Coast Guard is not based here, but they come up from St. Pete all the time.
we see, people will see that, what now, is that
they have a helicopter and a C-130 that
right?
they come up here all the time.
So you
Again,
see that big C-130 coming in out there.
They come up here all the time because to get out of the congested airspace of Tampa. So they'll come up here, do all their approaches. They also do a lot of parachuting out here because you just keep talking about so much property here. So we can accommodate that. And it's funny whenever we have the jumpers come out, the military parachuters, I should say, not jumpers, but the community will come out to the fence line and take pictures, and it's good community awareness. So we appreciate that.
And when they see the Blackhawks flying out there, we know where they're based, right here in Hernando County.
Absolutely.
So what else?
Well, we talked about the enterprise fund. We have a long-term tenant here. American Aviation has been here since the 1970s. Our air ambulance companies have been here for probably over 10 years now. We have, of course, the Bayflight medical unit, medical helicopter is here that supports the community with EMS service. We have Bayflight here, which is very important to our community. We also have the Experimental Aircraft Association local chapter 1298 is here. They build aircraft. They're based at the American Aviation Ramp, and then we have a new tenant. Transformation Aircraft Services, Mr. Tidwell, they're getting started off. They do aircraft interior modifications.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they're doing well over there, and they've been with us.
I think they've got about 3 airplanes.
They have 3 jets in there now that they're working on. Yeah. So
some people were skeptical that we were ever going to get somebody, but
it takes time. They're a new business, and it takes time to grow. Not everything happens overnight. So. You have to be patient with them and help them along the process and do everything you can to support them as well.
And don't we have what's the ones with the students? What do they call that with
the American Aviation Flight Training Academy?
Yeah, they have that here. No, there's another one with the kids can join with the.
Oh, the Civil Air Patrol.
Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah, they have Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah.
That's very important for an airport to have. They're great resources. When we need some help, we kind of talked about our lean staffing here. We're 5 I would say we're 5.5 strong here.
5.5.
So it's nice to be able to have some help. And, we have such a good relationship with our tenants that anytime that we do need help, we're a team. We all have to lean on each other to survive here.
And I think
that's
we're
aviation.
we're getting close to where the chamber has their big beer fest out here. Is that coming
Hernando
up?
Untapped. Yeah.
When is that coming?
It should be next fall.
Next
It'll be
fall, yeah.
September-ish or
So
October-ish.
people don't want to miss that.
Oh, it was amazing, the turnout that we had
it was,
for that.
It was
That
incredible.
blew me away.
Oh, people would go anywhere for that beer.
Well, they also had the beer and they also had the food trucks as well.
Yeah,
So it was a
yeah.
nice family event.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
And people need to kind of stay tuned. And how can they find you on the internet? What's
Our website is www.flybkv.com. Also, our phone number is 352-754-4061. Like I said, it's nothing top secret out here. If anyone wants to come out and look at the administration building or get a tour of the airport, just give us a call.
And they also can go to hernandocounty.us and they can find your website on that one too.
Yes,
with
correct.
the county. So just call the county if you can't find the airport.
Right.
We'll let you know where to go.
Absolutely.
So, anyway,
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
it's been great, and really appreciate you talking to us today and letting the listeners know about our awesome airport right here in Hernando County. And we're located on Spring Hill Drive. What's the address here, Kevin?
15800 Flight Path Drive.
So it's easy to find.
Very.
If you can find Target and you just go a little bit east of Target, that's where we are.
Exactly.
So, well, great. And again, I've been with Kevin Daugherty, with the airport manager, Hernando County, and it's been a great day. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.